Hello and welcome to Arsenal Domination, where I want to talk about criticisms of Arsenal's mentality following their sixth semi-final defeat in a row under Mikel Arteta. And the big question is, can Arsenal cope when the pressure is on? Now, on one level, I think that criticism is fair. We haven't won a trophy in 5 years. We've had two title collapses, sort of. And it's certainly true that Arsenal struggle to get over the line at the moment. So, as I say, I think there's some genuine truth in that, to what I've just said. And Arsenal do definitely need to win something in the next 12 months, or there is a genuine risk that they become like Spurs as Pochettino. And I hate to draw the comparisons between Arsenal and Spurs, but I think probably quite an apt one here. But equally, I also think that the Arsenal have a poor mentality is a relatively easy and lazy narrative that I think is oversimplistic. And here's why I think that. I think if you look back in the early years of Mikel Arteta, there was a culture at the entire club, top to bottom, of not winning, that being okay, and that fourth was a trophy. And to be fair, annoying as that is, that was probably fair. But we had at the time some proven winners in the squad. We had the likes of Aubameyang, Ozil, Bellerin, Mustafi, David Luiz. And for quite some period of time, those players didn't appear to sort of give it their all. They sort of took easy ways out. David Luiz was getting sent off. Ozil with sort of labouring around the pitch. Mustafi just never good enough. Aubameyang, brilliant in the first year of Arteta, then sort of fell out, and I think that was something different. But these were winners, and as I say, I don't know if their time at the club was corrupted by the mediocrity, whether they just wanted the money and gave up, or whether they were a part of the problem. Either way, the squad needed improving both mentally and in terms of quality, and that's obviously taken some time. You can agree whether that's a good thing or not, but that's what's happened. But what about now? We have players like Zinchenko, Jesus, Havertz, and they give it their all. Whether you like them as footballers or not, they give it their all, and they are proven winners from their clubs. So is it still an issue? And I think if you look back at the title collapses, I don't think they were surprised. I don't think the squad was good enough in the first year. I called the title collapse in October. It was obvious it was coming. City were a juggernaut last year. We kept pace with City pretty much throughout. City were perfect. We were near perfect, but we lost in the Champions League. I think partly of an experience thing. But we are now gaining experience in these competitions. And each time they fail, I think the question marks over mentality will grow. Liverpool faced similar under Jurgen Klopp, and it took them a while. And once they won their first trophy, they started to win. But Arsenal have had the same defeats this year. Newcastle sort of springs to mind in particular. And I think Arsenal do need to show that they can win, that they must win. And I think until they do that, it is going to be a criticism labelled them. I think it's a slightly unfair one with elements of truth, and there's only one way Arsenal can stop it, and that's win. And it's over to you, Mikel.